Hi everyone, and welcome back to our creative reading project on Fran's Journey in Black and Blue by Anna Quindlen. If you're just joining us, be sure to check out yesterday's video where we introduced the project and gathered our supplies. Today, we're starting on the fun part, building our journal base and adding our first layers. We'll be focusing on Fran's past, the time before she escapes her marriage. We'll use our materials to represent the emotional weight and complex layers of her early life. Let's begin by prepping our base. I'm using the Melville's food box. I'll use this as the foundation and a brown paper bag to add a new layer of texture and stability. I'm going to cut and tear pieces of this bag to cover the outside and inside of the box and then secure it with some Elmer school glue. This process of layering and covering can symbolize how Fran's identity was slowly being obscured and defined by her circumstances. As we work, let's think about Fran's early life. What were the moments that defined her? Was it the emotional toll of her marriage, or the simple fact that she was a mother trying to protect her child? We want to capture those feelings and thoughts on our pages. For our first ephemera project, I'll work with the coffee dyed store receipts that I mentioned in the previous video. Feel free to use the paper of your choice for your project. The coffee that I used was hot, so it caused the ink on the receipts to fade, which I feel is a good metaphor for how Fran's past is a memory. Parts of it are still there, but blurred and less distinct over time. Now, on this receipt, I am going to use a pen to write down a quote or a key phrase from the book that speaks to Fran's emotional state in the earlier parts of the novel. Something about her isolation or her hope for the future. You could write about a character that impacted her, like her son, or a moment that hinted at her future desire for freedom. I'll set this aside for now to use in my page spread later on. Now let's create the front cover, which will be the first impression of Fran's journal. I'm going to use a page from the Dandelion Fade digital set and a torn piece of corrugated cardboard. Feel free to use any paper of your choice. You don't have to use the Dandelion Fade printable papers to participate. Remember, these papers are golden toned and abstract. The golden faded tone can represent the warmth of what she longs for, or the faded aspect and the torn cardboard could symbolize the wear and tear of her life. It's beautiful, but also sounds a sign of struggle. I'll glue the digital paper on first and then layer the cardboard on top to add texture and depth. We'll be adding more to this as the week progresses, but this gives us a solid symbolic foundation. Your task for today is to build your journal base and create your front cover. Think about how the textures of your material can tell a story. How does a wrinkled paper bag or a faded receipt represent part of Fran's journey? Don't forget to share your progress. Post your work on social media using our hashtag Readeropolis Fran Journal so that we can see what you're creating. That's it for day 2. Join me tomorrow as we create a page spread that marks a major turning point in the novel. We'll talk about Fran's decision to leave and how to represent that pivotal moment in our journals.